This is Thomas Seeger, and I'm here to talk to you about green phototherapy for pain relief. Migraine is the single largest cause of disability life years lost among middle-aged people in the United States. If you've ever had a migraine, you probably know that it's accompanied by visual aura and often extreme photosensitivity. So the people I know who have migraines will typically pull all the shades, lock themselves up in a dark closet, and wait for the migraine to pass. At its worst, it can take a couple of days. And during that time, any sort of light will make it worse, except for one. It turns out there's a study goes back to 2016 at Harvard University that discovered green wavelengths, specifically 530 nanometers, can illuminate the environment for a migraineur and reduce their pain. Later on, the University of Arizona duplicated this study at 525 nanometers to see if they could prevent, that is, reduce the frequency and severity of migraines. They got great results. They cobbed up these LED lights for their research subjects that they bought online. They were just strips of green party lights, and they taped over every other light to get the intensity just right. They handed them out to the research subjects, and at the end of the study, every single one of their research subjects begged the university to hold on to their lights because they became so familiar to using it and they appreciated the relief. Why would green light relieve pain? The mechanisms aren't really understood, but one of the patients in the University of Arizona study was colorblind, and it also relieved his pain. So it isn't in the aesthetic, it's something that goes through the optic nerve and stimulates the brain to interrupt the pain receptors. It turns out that there's a similar thing that happens during the Japanese practice of forest bathing. You go out into the forest, you immerse yourself in the forest, and it's a very healing effect that can include reduction of chronic pain. If the mechanism in the forest that results in pain relief is similar in that it acts through the eye, then it would be the wavelengths that are critical. Blue sky is dominated by about 450 nanometers, but under the forest canopy, the peak is 550 nanometers. Perhaps the 530 nanometers that the Harvard study was using isn't the optimal wavelength. Nobody's ever explored the sensitivity or the efficacy of pain relief by wavelength and intensity for individual migraineurs. That's where the MyGreen lamp comes in. I filed a provisional patent on a lamp that is equipped with LEDs that will allow 4 different wavelengths ranging from 520 nanometers to 550 that can be individually controlled for intensity. So man, woman, nature of the headache, whatever the individual light sensitivity of the eye is, the MyGreen lamp will allow the user to adjust the different wavelengths to find that setting that is right for them. I tested a lamp one wavelength, but with intensity settings on 2 different headache sufferers. One discovered relief at the lowest intensity, but the other discovered relief at the highest intensity. She said her headache was gone until she closed her eyes, and it came right back. So we'd speculate that the individual intensities and wavelengths that are going to be right for any particular migraineur will be specific to them. That's why we need a lamp that allows users to experiment without drugs, without NSAIDs, without triptans, and at home in their own setting with the wavelengths and intensities that are going to work for them. The best thing about this concept is that the more I talk about it, the more people tell me, when you get that lamp, I want to buy it.